It's Gavin from walshthefataway.com, and today I have a very special guest who is somewhat of an expert in aphrodisiacs. Now, I'm sure you're all keen to hear about this. So let me say a big warm welcome to Meredith Shirk. Hi there, Meredith. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Gavin. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you guys for coming on and watching a little bit about aphrodisiacs. Hopefully I can spice up your life a little bit today.
Sounds good to me. I told my wife we were doing this interview, and she's like, "Okay, yeah, you can find out a few things about aphrodisiacs for us. That'll do." All right. So obviously, I just welcome you, but tell us a little bit more about you and how you got started with this, and how you came to be an expert in aphrodisiacs.
Okay, well, I am a health and fitness specialist. I've been a personal trainer for about 10 years, and I own my own health and fitness business in Malibu called Svelte. And everyone's like, oh, you're 28 years old. How did you get into aphrodisiacs? What do you know about low sex drive? And actually, it's funny because, well, it's actually not funny at all. But when I was in college, I wasn't eating right. I wasn't doing the right things. And they diagnosed me with being premenopausal. I was tired. I was run down. I didn't want to have any intimacy at all. And being 20, 21 years old, it's like, very bad. Nobody wants that, even at an older age. So kind of forgot about it, whatever, and went about my life and started being a personal trainer. And then I started working with women over 35. And that's a huge deal for people. Huge deal for these women is that they're losing their libido. They're losing their sex drive, and nobody knows what to do about it. Nobody talks about it. It's like, shh, don't talk about it. Female sex drive. So that's kind of been my outlook now, is to kind of get at women in their physical, their mental, and sexual state. So like connecting everything and making you feel like a superhero on all levels, not just like, oh, I'm super fit, but sometimes being super fit crushes your sex drive, because you're not eating the right things. You're too lean, or, you're doing one thing and not the other. So it's about this like full integration of feeling like a rock star.
Awesome. Now, I like what you said there about, I think, as you were in your 20s, it's kind of, it's almost unspoken about. And because you're in your 20s, that's not meant to be how it is. You're meant to be, thriving, and it's all good. But I think in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, people still won't talk about this. They kind of put their head in the ground and just like, that's the way it is. We don't have sex anymore. Sorry about that. But nobody wants that, and everybody wants to be close to their partners and enjoy a nice, healthy sex life. Or in my opinion, anyway.
Oh, of course.
All right. So, how did you find out? Obviously, you had the low libido, and you became a trainer. And so, how did your story unfold?
Do you mean more about how did I kind of get after learning about these things?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
Exactly.
Well, I started cueing in on key things about my diet, and I couldn't really put my finger on what I was eating. There wasn't any, like, I wasn't paleo, or I wasn't vegan, or I wasn't this, I wasn't that. And my husband started joking about me. He's like, oh, I looked at this article, and I've been reading a lot of stuff on aphrodisiacs. He's like, it's pretty much everything you eat. And I was like, huh. I was like, that's interesting. So I kind of started digging a little bit more, and people laugh, and they're like, oh, they don't exist. It's hocus pocus. And I'm like, you know what? I don't think it is. If you're eating key things that are interacting with your sex hormones on a cellular level, and it's interacting with your body, and it's producing these hormones, it's regulating your hormones, you're going to feel like having sex. If you're eating crap and you're not eating the right things, you're not going to feel like having sex. It's almost common sense.
Yeah. So like that. I like that a lot. So tell us what's the definition? What is an aphrodisiac food?
An aphrodisiac is a food or substance that promotes sexual desire. So sexual desire could be, libido. It could be your mental state of mind. It could be your physical state of mind, the way you feel, the way that your body reacts to touch or a certain chemical imbalance in your brain. So it's all of these different things. It's not just, I want to have sex right now. That's not really what an aphrodisiac is. An aphrodisiac is something that promotes that sexual desire on a bunch of different levels.
Yeah. So there's a crossover, really. I'm eating healthy, being active. And now, when I think of aphrodisiac foods, I automatically think of oysters. But to me, oysters are one of the worst things in the world. And what is it about oysters and other aphrodisiac foods? What is it inside them? What, are there any, substances, minerals? What's the key thing with them?
Right. When you really break down these foods, oysters are a perfect example. Everybody sees oysters in the movies, and they're like, oh, it must be because they're these slimy, like sensual things when you eat them. But it's actually, people joke about it, but when you break down these foods and you look at the mineral content, zinc is packed, oysters are packed full of zinc, and zinc has a huge effect on sexual desire because it not only increases testosterone, follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, prolactin, and all of these things are made in your pituitary gland, and they're sex hormones. They're promoting sexual feelings, sexual wellness. And not only are you having, follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, prolactin, but you're also boosting your immunity. Zinc is huge. You see people popping zinc pills before they get on the plane. There's a reason why these certain foods are packed with this and have a certain reaction on your body.
Awesome. So if somebody was to try and search out some aphrodisiac foods, what are your go-to foods? What do you choose when you go to the grocery store or shopping online? What would you normally go for?
I go for whole nutritious foods. But my secret weapon that I'll share with you guys because I think it's really important is goji berries. I don't know if you've ever had, sometimes they're called wolfberries. Okay. Goji berries are amazing, and talk about bang for your buck. I mean, goji berries go back deep in ancient Asian history about being like a crazy potent sexual tonic, mixing goji berries with water. And so I always have just a bag of goji berries in my purse or in my car, and just a handful. And that's, raw, nothing, just a handful of goji berries. And that'll, not only is it like, it has one of the densest packed protein fruits, okay, but it's also got a ton of vitamin C, zinc, all manganese, selenium, B vitamins. So you're just basically eating a salad bar, but it's like this tiny little red berry.
So you eat them as is. What do you put them on anything? Do you put them on salads, or what do you do with them? Do you just eat them raw?
Yeah, you could either go raw. Yeah, you could go raw. I put them in my salad, Greek yogurt and fruit.
Nice.
Pretty much anything. Oatmeal, people love, it's like, it's very versatile. You can actually cook them down too and put it into a stir fry, and it gives it kind of like a little Asian bite at the end. It's because they're not super sweet. And so they actually balance your insulin levels and kind of fend off hunger pains a little bit. So you're not tempted to eat things that do crush your libido, like really nasty trans fatty foods and, all those like last minute checkout things, candy and such at the supermarket. So it just is an all around, even if you're not interested in boosting your libido, you need to get good goji berries, period.
I'm just going to write that down, put it on my shopping list.
Yeah, everybody shopping list, goji berries.
All right, what's another one? What else do you use?
Another secret of mine is I use moringa powder. Have you ever heard of moringa powder?
No.
Yeah. So moringa powder is actually It was deemed by Science Daily in 2012, 2010 and 2012 as the miracle tree, the most useful tree in the world. So I buy a little jar of moringa powder. It's green. It's very potent. You take a tablespoon, or actually, sorry, a teaspoon. You can take a tablespoon, but it's very, very green tasting. Take a little teaspoon, put that in your smoothie or thing, and that's another, basically like having a salad bar in your fruit salad. So I got two knowledge bombs for you: the goji berries and the moringa powder. So those two things, if you guys, everybody listening, get those two things, they will change your life. I'm not kidding. They will change your life.
So I'm going to go out tomorrow and get some on it. All right. So, a lot of people have heard about aphrodisiac foods, and you got the common ones like oysters. And so what are some of the, I guess, fake aphrodisiac foods that people might have heard of and think, oh, that sounds like a good idea, I'm going to have some of that. But in actual fact, does nothing.
Well, there's two. So the biggest one, obviously is chocolate. People are like, oh, all chocolate is an aphrodisiac. So they're grabbing, milk chocolate, and they're grabbing, feel sexy. But in all honesty, milk chocolate and white chocolate, it's just going to make you fat. It's just sugar and butter, and milk. It's nothing more. But if you're eating 70% cacao, dark chocolate, cold pressed, the stuff that tastes a little bitter, but really is incredible for your body because it's full of antioxidants, that is an aphrodisiac. Because not only is it full of antioxidants and it fights free radicals in the body, but it also does is it releases phenylethylamine, which is a feel-good hormones. Yeah. So you feel really great. It releases serotonin and dopamine, floods your body with those chemicals that you relate to being intimate. That sexy feeling, that feeling to a little square of dark chocolate. It's okay. 70% cacao, dark chocolate, cold pressed.
Yeah. Myself and Mrs. W.
And then the other one is.
I was just going to say, myself and Mrs. W. We will sometimes sit down for an evening with a few squares of dark chocolate in front of the box. And you only need a couple of squares.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, tiny amounts, and you'd be amazed about what it does to your body. And so we went over dark chocolate. Another one is soy. So a lot of people say, oh, soy has a lot of estrogen in it. Estrogen is good. But the problem with soy is that 90% of it is genetically modified. And that's really bad. So even though it might have estrogen in it, and females think that that's good for your sex drive, which in portions it is, but to be honest, testosterone is actually better for your sex drive. Because it promotes more of that sexual feeling. But soy, that 90% GMO soy it does really bad things to your body over a long period of time. So what you're eating now is going to affect you for a very long time. So you need to be careful about what you're putting in your body. So any kind of genetically modified food or chemicals, pesticides, all those things contribute to really dampening your sexiness, really. I mean, one, you're not going to feel good, and two, your body from the inside out is not wanting to have sex either, because it's all messed up inside. Your hormones are all out of whack.
Ouch. And I guess a lot of people nowadays are realizing that dairy, cow's milk is not good for you. So they're making that switch to another sort of milk drink, and everyone's looking at soy milk, and they'll go to Starbucks and they'll have their soy lattes and whatever. Obviously not good. So what would you recommend in place of like something like soy milk?
So two things. You need to get all natural organic coconut milk and almond milk. Those two are my favorite. And you can actually make almond milk yourself. And it's actually really easy. You can search it, you go on Google and say, how do I make homemade almond milk? And you can actually get organic almonds, you can steep them, you can grind them, you can press them, and you can actually make your own almond milk. And it's so much better for you. You know exactly what's going in it. You know there's not a ton of extra sugar that's also crushing your hormones. So almond milk, coconut milk, all organic, non-GMO. Just be careful about what you put in your body.
Awesome. I mean, I drink a lot of coconut milk. I love the stuff. I made the switch from dairy, and a lot of people ask me about soy milk, and it's exactly what you just said there. It's just, the estrogen, you get the good, bad estrogen. So it's more bad estrogen with the genetically modified soy there. So definitely steer clear of that, guys. What are some of the other ways we can eat these aphrodisiac foods, and ways to? And we've discussed a little bit, putting them in smoothies and things like that. Are there any other ways that we could sort of just throw them into foods and try and increase the volume and the amount that we're eating to not only boost our sex drive, but make our skin better, feel better, all those types of things as well?
Totally. I think it's really important for people to understand that it's not about a crash diet where you're just going to pack yourself with these things for a week and then go back to your crappy ways of eating after a week. It's about, it's about teaching yourself how to incorporate these kind of foods into your everyday life. So like I said, you can find goji berries at any health food store, really at any, a Whole Foods or something, a Trader Joe's or a natural foods market. Mm-hmm. And something as simple as goji berries. Okay, I'm going to make a conscious decision that I'm going to have almond milk in a smoothie with some goji berries this morning. And that's just going to be one part of your day. And then once you do one, you see how great you feel. And you see that it's not about flipping your whole world upside down. It's about making small incremental changes that'll last for a really long time. Another thing you could do is instead of going out to lunch, at work, pack an arugula salad. Arugula is an amazing aphrodisiac, and it's actually called the love drug. A lot of it goes back in history called the love drug. An arugula salad, handful of almonds, raw, just a little bit of, half a cup of mango, something like that, handful of goji berries, and you just packed your body with so much amazing nutrients that when you get home, you're going to be energetic and full of life. You're not going to be kind of sloughing off this fast food that you ate for lunch, Yeah,
like a lot of people do. They get home, just sit in front of the box, and then their partner's sitting next to them, and that's it. They're just staring. Okay. It's
horrible, like when you share a good, healthy meal together, and you're instead of just stuffing yourself and then passing out on the couch, it's amazing when you actually prepare a meal together. And that has a lot to do with it too, is making that deeper connection. When you show somebody you're trying to be healthy and you feel good, you want them to feel good. And it's like this ladder of success, because then you see you're climbing one rung, you're like, oh, this isn't too bad, and I feel amazing. And so it's just like the snowball effect of inspiring each other to feel amazing, have that sexual connection, have that intimacy again, get your lives back, stop sitting on the couch, and actually be connected.
Cool. You know what? I have absolutely loved talking about all this. And one of the things that you have done is try to take all the guesswork out. So I know you've got an online program to try and help people to get to grips with all of this. And I'd like you to tell us a little bit more about that, if you would.
Yeah, it's called the Aphrodisiac Secret, and it's a plan and it's a system to help integrate these amazing, nutritiously dense aphrodisiacs into your life to not only feel good inside, you're going to look good, you're going to detoxify your body, and you're going to finally get back to that person that you can be, that maybe you've fallen off the wagon or you've been eating too much fast food. But this program is designed so that you can take little pieces at a time and implement them into your life, or you can go straight in and have 21 days of every single thing planned out for you, where you're going to feel like a complete rock star after. So there's a ton of great bonuses. There's an eating out guide, so that what to look for when you go to restaurants, so you're not killing your hormones. There's a travel guide, so when you're on the road, you know what to do. There's a shopping guide, so when you go into the store, you shop around the perimeter instead of going in the middle where everything's processed. So it's a way to guide people and help them feel lean, strong, sexy, connected, all of those things. Because I live it. I eat this stuff every day, and I just, it keeps me fit, and it keeps my relationship amazing. So all I could say is that I hope you guys, give it a go and get reconnected with yourself and with your partner.
Yeah, and I can vouch for that. I've seen some of Meredith's Facebook posts with her shopping and stuff like that, and I've been wondering what is that she's got there, and I'm going to have a look. I'm sure I saw a photo that you'd put online the other day. I think it might have been on Instagram, and I'm sure it was of the goji berries or something like that.
Yep. It was the goji berries. It was the moringa powder and the maca powder. So I wanted to show you guys, and you could see it on my YouTube channel, that I actually do go and shop and buy those things and use them, because I practice what I preach, and I love it. I love the stuff. I mean, I feel like, I feel like I should have felt when I was 20.
It's awesome. You've actually turned it around, and I think people watching this or listening to this will hear your enthusiasm for this, and I think if they're going to check out your stuff, I think they'll be really pleased they do. So where can they find out more about this, and obviously, other websites you've got? Tell us, let us know so people can find out more.
Definitely. You can go to aphrodisiacsecret.com, and that'll be down below, because some people have trouble with the spelling, which is not a big deal. But I want to make sure you get to the right aphrodisiacsecret.com. And then you can also go on my YouTube channel, and that's also Aphrodisiac Secret. So I post videos there. I'm going to post interviews. I also do a lot of just shopping stuff, just showing you guys like, hey, this is a great thing to integrate into your diet. You don't have to turn your life around, but you need to start. Because if you don't start, how are you going to feel tomorrow? You're going to feel the same as you feel right now. And that's not good. Yeah,
that's amazing. But yeah, we'll definitely put the links below to the website. So if anyone interested, just click on the link below, and you'll see Meredith's stuff and how fantastic it is. Anything else you'd like to add before we go? I mean, is there any final tip that you would like to add?
I guess the only thing I could say is that, treat your body like a temple, and get back to your sexiest you, because you deserve it, and your partner deserves it, and you deserve to be happy again and be that connected person. Because when you age, you shouldn't lose your sex drive. You shouldn't be gaining weight. All of these things people say like, oh, I should be doing this. I should be doing this. You control your destiny. So you need to take the first step, and you need to take action and just make your life better. Everyone's going to be happy. You're going to be so much happier when you make the first step.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure doing this interview with you, Meredith. And I'm sure the guys watching this are going to get a ton of knowledge bombs from there. And I'm just going to fill them in. We have goji berries, moringa powder, almond milk, coconut milk, and the other one was arugula. Is that how you say it?
Yep.
Yeah. So
arugula.
Get them.
Yep. All right, get your hands on those.
All right. So as I said, it's been a pleasure. And
thank you guys.
Exactly. Click on the link below and you'll see more of Meredith's stuff. All right. Take care, guys. And if you have any questions, just let us know in the box below as well. Yeah. Bye for now. Take care.
Bye.